Today I'm going to take you through a 30-minute full body calisthenics workout that you can do at home. I'm going to use some yoga blocks and a box, but I'll show you options that you can do without any equipment, so don't worry if you haven't got anything available. You could also substitute the box for a chair or sofa. We're going to kick off the workout with a brief warm-up, then we'll get into the main strength sections. This warm-up consists of 4 30-second exercises for 2 rounds, kicking off with an inchworm. So if you come to one edge of your mat, you're going to hinge at the hip, lengthening the hamstrings, reaching towards your toes, and then walk out into a press-up position. So get yourself ready to go. So hinge, reach down, walk it out, walk it all the way back in, touch your toes, stand up. I'm doing this on my knuckles, but you can just do it on the flats of your palms, that's fine. Try and hinge with that flat back before you allow any flexion of the back. If you can't quite reach your toes, obviously you'll have to round your back a bit and bend your legs as a last minute resource. Let's go into a press up position. Take your left foot, put it on the outside of the left hand, turn and point to the ceiling on that side. Then take your right foot onto the outside of your right hand, turn and point up. And we're going to repeat these Spider-Man lunges. So left foot, left facing turn, right foot, right facing turn. From here, you're going to come to a squat position, holding onto your toes, sink as low as you can. Then I want you to stand up as high as you can, and then sinking down, pulling your chest up nice and tall. And then standing up. Don't worry if you're not getting quite the same range of motion as me, just do what you can. All right, coming up into a standing position, hands behind your ears, squatting down, keeping a nice open chest, knees pushed out, then back up to the top. Knees pushed out, open chest position, upright torso, and back up. Great one, opening the chest out, engaging the upper back as well. Okay, straight into round 2, back to the inchworms. On this next one, stay in the press-up position. And we're going into those Spider-Man lunge and rotations. If you can, try and straighten up through the back leg, and then you'll get a nice hip flexor stretch on that straighter back leg. We're going from here into that frog squat to pike. So we're gonna hold on to the toes, sink into that frog squat, knees out, chest up, and then standing, drawing your chest in towards your quads for the pike. So we're not just passively standing, leaning forwards, I'm actively using my abs and hip flexors to draw me in. Okay, standing up, hands behind your ears, let's squat down, keeping a nice open chest position, knees pushed out. You can have a slight turn out to your feet, and then your knees should be turned out to match that foot angle. We're trying to engage the back muscles, keep opening that chest out. Working on some of that upper body posture, whilst obviously also warming up your squats. All right, that's the workout complete. We're gonna move into the first section where we've got 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 4 exercises for 3 rounds. We're gonna start off with a press up. If you can't do a press up, I'm gonna show you a negative press up where you just do a full press-up shape, but you only do the way down, and then you can put the knees down and reset. I'm gonna use yoga blocks for my press-ups, just because I personally find it a little bit easier on my wrists to put my fingertips over the edge, but most people will probably be fine with it. So whether you're doing the negatives or the full push-ups, let's get ready to go. So slowly down, and then pushing back to the top. Make sure your elbows are not flaring out too wide to the sides. I'm keeping my glutes engaged, my belly button drawn in, almost doing a slight pelvic tilt to the hips. Your hips and chest should lower at the same rate. And then I know it's tempting to leave your hips behind on the way up, but you want them to rise in time with your torso. Great job. Okay, so you can either just do a close foot squat, or if you've got a box or sofa, you can do an alternating pistol squat with me. So whichever one you prefer. It might even be worth putting a slight heel elevation to your close foot squat. If you're on the pistol, you're going to sit down with one leg, stand back up, and then sit down with the other leg. Obviously, the lower you go, the harder it's going to be. And if you just can't do this at all, just opt for that close foot squat. Make sure that knee is not collapsing in towards the big toe. You want to actively keep it out slightly to counter the natural tendency to collapse in. Great job. Okay, we're going to lie face down on the mat. We're going to reach our arms overhead and then reach our arms down by the hips. I'm going to stay prone on the floor, trying to keep my lower back relaxed, using the upper back muscles for this. Okay, final one, probably my favorite ab exercise. We're gonna do a hollow hold. I'll show you a full hollow, and then you could also pick that half hollow variation where you've got one knee in and your hands by your pockets. I'll be doing a full hollow for this first one. So whatever variation you've chosen, you want your lower back to stay nice and flat to the floor. Head and shoulders should be slightly off the mat. And the lower down your legs go, the harder it's going to be, as you can tell from my voice shaking. Great job. Okay, you got a short rest, 30 seconds off, and then we go into the second of 3 rounds. So we'll be starting back with that negative press up. We want to almost create an arrow shape with your body. So from a bird's eye view down, your torso and your arms down to your elbows should create an arrow, not a T shape. The yoga blocks actually let you go a little bit deeper as well than the floor. So if you're fairly advanced on the press ups, it's probably worth getting some yoga blocks just so you can get that extra range of motion on these as well, but doing them on the floor. Either opt in for that close foot squat or a pistol box squat. I'm going to try a slightly lower box for this one. If you're doing the close foot squat and you've got something you can elevate your heels with, that can really help you to get the depth, which will start building your quads up to support these pistols. It could be a plate, or you could elevate your heels with a book. Even if you're doing these pistol squats, elevating your heels can be really useful. So feel free to do that if it helps you to do the exercise better. Definitely harder lower down like that. I'm going to do some over-unders. Maybe the last round I'll try doing full pistols. Try and use your upper back, keep your lower back relaxed for these, maximum hand height from the floor. Onto that hollow. I'll show you that half hollow demo as well, but if you've got the full hollow, just go for that instead. If you're going for the half hollow hold, you're going to bring one knee in, one leg out, and hands can hover down past your pockets like this. You still should have your head and shoulders off the mat, whichever variation you're aiming for. Lower back should not be arching off the mat. You can switch your legs around. If you're in this half hollow, it doesn't matter too much. Your core position should be locked in, pretty similar, whichever way around you got your legs. Bringing one knee in just makes it a little bit easier to keep that lower back flat to the floor because it helps tilt your pelvis. Great job, 2 down. 1 round to go, and then we'll go on to our second strength section. I'll give you 4 new exercises, and I'm going to have a go at those full pistol squats after these press-ups. Work on that hip to torso timing, coming down together, up together. People often leave the hips behind like this and snake up. We definitely don't want to do that. Keep the belly button drawn in. Rise the hips with the chest. If you can't do it, just do a negative on the way down and reset your knees at the bottom. All right, let's try these full pistol squats. This is going to challenge me without my heels elevated, but we'll give it a go. You'll probably find you got one side tighter than the other. Make sure that knee is not collapsing towards the center. Ideally, you'd have a slightly more upright body position than I'm doing right now. But that wasn't too bad for me. Okay, prone over-unders, working on drawing the belly button pressure off the floor, engaging the glutes, max hand height, minimum lower back engagement. Onto the hollow hold, whether you're doing the full hollow or the half hollow, whichever you're doing. Abs engaged, lower back flat to the floor, head and shoulders slightly off. All right, great job. You got a minute off, so enough time to grab a quick sip of water, and then we're moving on to our final strength section. 4 new exercises, 40 on, 20 off for 3 rounds. If you're enjoying this workout and you'd like to do more, maybe even slightly longer calisthenics workouts, I've also got some equipped ones using a pull-up bar, using rings. Check out my TPT Virtual Studio members area, which I'll link in the description of this video. It's a members area including some exclusive videos not on my main YouTube channel, usually slightly longer workouts. Okay, get ready for those pike push-ups. You can't do a pike push-up, you've got the pike negative to kneeling. So you do a full pike on the way down, but then just reset at the bottom. If you've got these, scooting down, scooting back up, you might want to unlock your knees slightly. You should be sliding forwards, sliding back. Keep the hips as high as possible. Again, you don't need the blocks, this is just to make it easier for my wrists. However, it does let you come a little bit lower down into your pike, which can be useful. If you're doing that kneeling reset, that's absolutely fine. It's a tricky one to get used to, but well worth it for building up some handstand strength. Next, grab your sofa, box, or just do the regular split squat, back foot elevated. I'm going to do all 40 seconds on one side. Generally, I like to put my foot upside down, like that, so my shoelaces are resting on the box, or on the bench, or sofa. If you haven't got anything to elevate your foot on, just do a regular split squat. It's a really good one. As well as developing leg strength, it's also opening out the hip, improving your mobility. Calisthenics is not just about strength, it's about strength and mobility combined. Okay, brief break. Remember which leg you've just done, and then you're going to go on to the other side. It's okay not to be upright in the bottom position of the movement. So actually leaning forwards might be more of a neutral spine position. If you try and come upright, you might end up overarching your lower back like this. So just a slight subtle lean forwards, and then you might come more upright as you get towards the top of the lift. Okay, back face down on your mat now. You're going to do a prone Y raise. Again, trying to keep the lower back relaxed. Lift the hands as high as you can, making a Y shape with your body. Great job. One round down, 2 to go. Get ready to go with these pike press ups. So you're trying to keep your back flat. That's why I said you could unlock your knees, because it's a bit easier to keep your back flat if you've got a slight knee bend, but then that knee angle should stay fixed throughout. You're almost sliding back and forth slightly, but keeping the hips high, pivot in at the toes. Just like in a regular press up, don't let your elbows flare out too wide. Tuck them in towards your side slightly. You should be able to look your gaze back towards your feet, making it more of a shoulder press than a chest press. Got those Bulgarian split squats next. Take your time on the way down, maybe 3 counts down, 1 to 2 counts up. prone on the mat for that Y raise. It's a really good one for the posture muscles of your upper back, your mid, lower traps. Keep the elbows locked, maybe turn your thumbs up as you rise your hands. Great job. If you've made it this far, that means you can finish. We've got one more round left, so don't go anywhere. You're gonna make it. If you're really struggling with those Bulgarian split squats, just opt for the regular split squat that I've popped up on the screen as an alternative. Starting with these pikes though for the first exercise. So lifting the tailbone up, lengthening the hamstrings, you're sliding forwards and then sliding back in the exact path you came to the floor in. The main mistake I see on this is people do it great on the way down, but then they push up like this and then kind of scoot over. No, we want to scoot down and forwards and then back the same way we've just come. To advance this, you do the same exercise but elevate your feet onto a box. Okay, onto those split squat or Bulgarian split squat. I'm going to try elevating my back heel a little bit more, just to give me a bit more of a stretch. Controlling that front knee, making sure it's not collapsing in. It's either staying dead central, or sometimes I'll tell people to try and turn it out, but that's really just to counter the fact that they're trying to turn it in. Okay, switching to the other side, brief break though. I personally find these get easier as the sets go on, as your hip flexors start opening up. And I find that one of the best things you can do for your flexibility is just train exercises that have a really big range of motion. You'll probably get just as good, if not better, flexibility results from training with large ranges of motion than you will from just doing long static stretch routines. Not that I'm against that, but you should definitely train like this as well. Okay, final set of the whole workout. Got those prone Y raises. Let's improve those upper back posture muscles. Get nice and high. Keep your belly button drawn slightly up off the floor if possible. And that's it, workout complete. Thanks so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments below, how did you find that workout and where in the world are you following along from? I truly do love to hear that. I'll link a quick 5-minute cool down stretch on the screen. And also, if you want to do a 45-minute version of this workout or some more equipped, longer calisthenics workouts, check out my TPT Virtual Studio members area linked in the description of this video. And I'll see you again soon for another workout.